Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile. And despite straightaways barely 200 yards long, it's a very fast racetrack. The secret is in the variable banking in the 300-yard corners. You may not have much room to accelerate off one corner before shutting down for the next. But with steep banking, there's not much loss of speed when you get there. And the all-concrete racing surface provides great traction. With 153,000 seats arrayed in grandstands all the way around the racing surface, Bristol looks more like a football stadium on steroids than a typical racetrack. Veteran drivers have described racing at this East Tennessee Speed Emporium as the equivalent of flying a fighter plane in a gymnasium. So it's not surprising that every NASCAR Cup Series race draws a massive crowd. Still, the best seat in the house is the one behind the wheel, but it's sure not a relaxing one. With laps ticking by at less than 15 seconds, and the compact nature of the track means that the infield pits both on the front and back straightaways, so drivers have that added complication to deal with. Open for competition in 1961, Bristol has had a number of remodels over the years, several owners as well. It's been under its current owner, Speedway Motorsports, that Bristol Motor Speedway has enjoyed its greatest period of growth. Tonight, it's race number 8, the Davidson Builders Cup Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. Race number 8 of the Davidson Builders Gen 6 Cup Series here at Bristol, Tennessee. Pardon the typo. 165 laps the race distance here tonight. 75-degree ambient temperature, 38% humidity, partly cloudy skies, almost no breeze here inside this giant coliseum of speed. 1 mile per hour to be exact. Track temperature, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Drivers have a 50% fuel load, about a 72, 76 lap fuel window to work with tonight. 2 sets of tires over the wall and no fast repairs. Count them, 0. You wreck it here, you got to fix it the old-fashioned way, and very quickly you can go down laps, multiple laps, here tonight at Bristol with a short half mile. 3 green-white checkered finishes available if so needed. We'll get into that. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We had a rough one last week with the Spark Truck Series. It was a 17 caution event. Those trucks certainly handle significantly different than the old Gen 6 Cup cars. Talked to some drivers pre-race this evening and say they handle pretty well. It's almost too easy on the early stages of a run. It does change as the tires wear, but we'll have to keep close eye on that as things progress. Practice session just about wrapped up. A minute left to be exact. Zach Millett fastest with a 14.449. Jim Ott second quick, Josh Moore, Chris Goins, Dylan Bryant, the top 5. Finish up with our practice session here momentarily, get right into qualifying. Qualifying session tonight, 2 laps, 10 minutes. Whichever comes first, you go out there and turn your laps or just wait until the very end. Don't see track temperatures changing a whole lot from that first minute to minute number 10, so we may get this session completed in a hurry. We'll see. Point standings coming into tonight. Last week's winner, Zach Millett, up a couple of spots into P2. But Connor Leach still leads the standings with 299. Millett second, PJ Cox, Chris Goins, Matt Sisler, the top 5. Then it's Nick Binney, Joshua Moore, Jesse Sperling, Dylan Bryant, Anthony Williams. You can see the rest on down the line. Practice in the books. We'll jump right into qualifying. Wait to see who hits the track first. Justin Lawson, it appears, the first one to get out there. Green flag for the 20. First lap in the books for Lawson. 14.96. Millett, very quick to the point, though. Goes top of the board to the 14.66 on his first lap. A couple of tenths slower than he was in practice. We'll see if he can pick it up here on lap 2 across the stripe. 6.99, actually a touch slower, but pretty consistent. Meanwhile, Durkee goes top of the board. 14.543 for his second lap. Durkee with a big pickup on lap number 2. Redding finishes up with a 7.89. Ben McKinnon out of turn 4. And McKinnon's time doesn't lock in. Might have had an incident out on the racetrack. Point leader Connor Leach. Meanwhile, Jim Ott goes to the point. 14.493. Fast lap for the 4. Leach 6 quick on his first turnaround. 14.761. Big lift for Leach out of 4. Costs him dearly. What kind of lap time does he lay down? It is still just a tick faster, but 6 quick. 14.737 for Connor Leach. Derek Welch in the number 1 NTG trucking machine. Jim Ott still top time with a 14.493. Welch out of 4, right up against the wall. 14.703, 7th quick for Welch. We'll see if he can pick it up on lap 2. Welch across the stripe. 8.48, a little bit slower. Alfie Charon Jr. The number 9 trackbarmedia.net machine. Charon way up the racetrack, trying to build a run out of the corner, carry that speed to the line. Where does Charon land? Lap 1, 10th quick, 14.743. Smooth laps for Alfie Charon. Picks it up, though, real fast. 14.619 puts him just on the outside, or inside of row number 2. Joshua Moore, who's been fast. 1 win on the season. Back at Chicagoland, but he gets the fence out of turn 4. He may go right back to pit lane and try again. I don't know if that was his green lap or his completed lap. That looks like... Yeah, he's going to invalidate 1 lap and finish out this here. Second lap at 19.660. So that's going to put him at the bottom of the field as far as the drivers who've turned a lap. Samora's going to have some work to do tonight. So officially just about halfway through this session. There's still 6 drivers that haven't taken a time officially. Ken Couch, Sean Roberts, Ben McKinnon, Matt Sisler, Eric Beadle, Tom Barish. Moore's going to stay out and try to take advantage and use some of this time to get some more laps. Looks like Matt Sisler is going to give it a go. Number 93, 3 birdies Toyota Tundra. It's a Camry. Used to calling these truck races. Sisler was 11th quick on his first lap, 14.777. Lap 2 is 7.64, a little bit faster, but still P11. with that, we're going to step aside quickly here, get a short break out of the way before we get to the green flag. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Bouchard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging. And to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Just don't know where that baby of mine. Well, I just don't know. Have mercy, brother.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready to begin pace laps here for race number 8 of the Davidson Builders Gen 6 Cup Series. Let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 14.493 seconds, it's the 4 of Jim Ott. Outside front row, Paul Durkee in the number 13, missed it by 50 thousandths of a second. Row number 2, it's the 9 of Alfie Charon Jr. with Track Bar Motorsports. Teammate Chris Goins in the 41 to his right elbow. Row number 3, it's the 23 of Mark Collins and Track Bar Motorsports driver Zach Millett in the 315. Row number 4, it's the 28 of Dylan Bryant with the 1 of Derek Welch starting to his outside. Row 5, Jesse Sperling and Connor Leach. Starting 11th, it's the number 93 of Matt Sisler. 12th goes to Sean Roberts. 13th starter, Jesse Redding, also of Track Bar Motorsports. He'll start in the 13th spot in the number 21. Nick Biddy with Lowline Motorsports, 14th. 15th starter, it's the 5 of Anthony Williams. Skylar Herod starts 16th. The 57 of Russ Endicott, 17th. 18th starter is Jarrett Woodard. 19th goes to Crystal Villano, also a Track Bar Motorsports entry. The GOAT's Brandon Coleman. The number 11 starts 20th. 21st, Justin Lawson. 22nd, John Luke Wilkie. Scott Milner, 23rd. Josh Moore starts 24th. 25th starter, Ken Couch. Tom Barish will start 26th. Ben McKinnon, 27th. Eric Beadle, 28th. And last but not least, certainly not in our hearts, the 51 of Chris Klein will start shotgun on the field in the 29th position. Your starting grid here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Field pulls away from the starting grid. We'll take 2 pace laps before we see the green flag here this afternoon. Again, race details tonight, 165 laps the race distance, 73-degree temperature, 42% humidity, partly cloudy skies. Breeze picked up a little bit, 4 miles per hour, still nothing to be too concerned with, especially down at track level. Track temperature, 77 degrees. Drivers have 50% fuel load, 2 sets of tires over the wall to work with, so I'll have to keep an eye on that as this place definitely favors fresh tires. No fast repairs, 3 green-white checkers if we end up needing them. We'll see how clean this race pulls off here. A different race car, a different race vehicle than we ran last Wednesday in the Spartan Truck Series. The truck's very loose around this place, especially in the early stages of a run. Kind of hearing the opposite with these Cup cars. Pace car lights are out. We should see the green this time by.
Green flag.
There it is, green flag in the air. We're underway from Bristol. Hot out to a good lead already into turn number 3. Single file, go to the top 3, in trouble on the back straightaway. Crystal Villano involved. Also the 72, and just like that, Villano and Wilkie involved in an incident on the backstretch. Don't know if the two came together or not, but just like that, the caution is out. Let's get a look at it. Josh Moore gets into the back of the 72 of Wilkie, sends him into the path of Crystal Villano. 2 innocent bystanders, effectively. Moore just running over the back of the 72 on the opening lap. Take another look at it here. Watch the 18 car in behind the 72 of Wilkie. Gets a good run through the corner. I get that it may have been slightly incidental, but first lap, you got to be a little more passive than that. You know, the running joke we always hear, you can't win it on lap 1. You can certainly throw it away. Unfortunately, in this case, looks like they may have thrown it away for a couple other drivers that really didn't have a part in the incident. So, 4 laps in, first caution out of the way. Hopefully enough to get some of the jitters shaken off. says more crashed on lap 3. I don't know if that actually happened or if that's just a glitch in our system. Just heavy on the brakes there as everybody kind of stacked up. Yeah, we got Blitz in the stream chat, says, "Go Steve." Thanks for checking in. At least somebody has so far. Again, I don't know if I even mentioned it. Stream chat is open. All are welcome. Just keep it PG for the kids. You can disagree. That's allowed. We support free speech here at HBR TV. Just keep it civil. This has got to be better than watching the debate, which I don't even know if it started yet, but who cares? There's a race on. Yeah, it might be virtual, but it's still a race. Definitely more entertaining. So Jim Ott maintains the top spot here as we roll under the caution flag. Paul Durkee in the 13 tire discounter machine. He's on the outside. Goins and Millett, third, fourth. Alfie Charon in fifth. Track Bar Motorsports teammates all occupying the top 3. Not all of them. There's more out there. We got Joel Moore says, "Let's go 18. Caleb Hatt, hopefully I'm saying it right with the double T, says, "Go number 4, cheering on Jim Ott." So we get ready to go back racing yet again. Pace car is in. Green flag in the air. Ott fires as soon as he gets to the restart zone, and he's got the jump on the field. 2-3 car lengths over second and third place. Chris Goins jumps to the inside of Paul Durkee for the spot, gets through easily. Now Zach Millett applying pressure into turns 3 and 4. Durkee up the racetrack, Millett to the bottom. Alfie Charon may try to follow the 315 on through, opts not to. Now back to the bottom. Durkee up on the top side again. We thought that the top lane was going to be the place to be on the early part of the run, but it seems not to be working very well for these drivers. The bottom side seems to be king. A little contact with Durkee and Charon there out of turn 4. Charon gets clear. Durkee slips back to the 5th spot. Derek Welch fighting with Connor Leach. This for the 6th position. Still side by side. Jim Ott still out in front. Chris Goins in the rear is about 0.4 of a second. So we'll continue to watch this battle for position between Connor Leach and Derek Welch. Welch in the number 1 machine up top. Contact. Connor Leach gets a little crossed up, but keeps it together. Stays to the bottom of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Welch gets clear around the outside. He'll take the spot, move Welch up into P6. Leach is going to battle back on the bottom of the racetrack, but now it seems the top side might be beginning to come in. That or Welch has just found a way to make it work. Slow car down low. That's the 57 of Russ Endicott. Endicott running back in the 26th position, now a lap down. Looks like Russ had a moment just a couple of laps ago. We'll see if we can look at that real quick. Watch the 57 down low, bottom side of the racetrack. Shallow entry for the 57. And a little contact with the 18 machine. Endicott comes up the track, just gets into the left side of the 18, sends him to the infield, gets into the inside pit wall. Caution does not come out for this. Again, the cautions are triggered by the iRacing algorithm. As far as that's concerned, no live admin to call cautions in this series. Meanwhile, back up front, Jim Ott still with the race lead, but he's got a very fast and very hungry Zach Millett reeling him in. A couple of car lengths off the back bumper of the 4. We'll go on board with Jim Ott. Ott working up the top side of the racetrack. You see these cars are slammed right on the ground as sparks continue to fly under the lights here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Zach Millett trying to reel Ott in. Jim's definitely got some pace around this place. Two distinct lines around the racetrack though. Ott working the top side. Millett switches it up. He was working down low. Now Ott goes to the bottom. I think he was trying to block the advance, aero block Zach Millett, and it's costing him as Ott goes up the racetrack again. Millett swaps lanes, goes back to the bottom of the racetrack. I know it's only Bristol, folks. It's only half mile, but dirty air does make a difference. It got such high banks here at Bristol. They've got plenty of speed to trash up the air and disturb that to the trailing race car. So that's what Millett was trying to do. He switched lanes. Ott tried to air block, and it just didn't pay off. On board with Zach. Take a look at the driver's eye camera on board Zach Millett's machine. This is what it looks from his perspective. His camera mounted on the helmet. So it's about as close as you're going to get to at least visually seeing what the driver sees behind the wheel of that race car. Last lap for Ott, a 15:22. Millett, a 15:21. Chris Goins ran the exact same lap time at a 21. Millett takes a peek, still not quite enough to get underneath the 4. Leader's already in some lap traffic. First car they're going to get to is the 31. That's Scott Milner running in the 25th position. Just ahead of him is the 119 of Eric Beadle. Millett gets alongside as Ott gets held up in traffic. Millett's going to take the race lead away. Yes, he is. He gets clear. New leader off turn 4, lap 31. It's Zach Millett. Millett now working the top side. He's going to negotiate through this traffic, basically be a lead blocker. Beadle gets crossed up with Ott going to the inside. Beadle straightens the car out. Meanwhile, Millett getting away, putting some distance between himself and the 4 machine. And trouble. Sean Roberts around, the 33 in trouble.
Very, very difficult decision to make.
Second caution of the day falls on the racetrack here at Bristol. 33 laps in, just after Millett took over the top spot. May have involved another vehicle. The 57 of Endicott, I believe, was involved. No, not the case. Let's see what happened here to Sean Roberts just a moment ago. And I didn't think Endicott was involved, but he was there. I don't think it was Endicott's fault. Roberts got into the left rear of the 57, and in trying to not wreck the 57, effectively spun himself. Looks like without any major incident, but this happening just ahead of the leaders as you saw Jim Ott sneak by without contact. Sean Roberts wise to hold the brake there, even though he's perpendicular to race traffic. It's easier to dodge a car that's not moving than to guess where it's going to go. Roberts did a good job of that. But under our second yellow of the day here at Bristol, some drivers taking the opportunity to pit, Joshua Moore being one of them. Moore just coming in for fuel, looks like to top off. Hey, we got Drew Blaze in the stream chat, supposedly my biggest fan. I'm flattered, Drew. I didn't know. Either way, thanks for being here. Thanks for saying hello. Fahey's not here, though. He's not going to wreck in this one. He's not here. Either way, thanks for saying hello. It's a shame he's not here because when he's got you up in the spotter stand here, he runs some pretty darn good races. He's been very fast lately when he has the opportunity to jump in these races, and he admittedly attributes a lot of that to you being up in the booth. Not the booth, spotter stand, whatever. Pit box, booth, stand, you know what I meant. So 36 laps complete here from Bristol. Race leader Zach Millett. Again, Millett up 5 spots. These pictures courtesy of Whiplash Sim Cams. Check those guys out. If you've got a broadcast platform of your own on the iRacing service, you want some custom cameras set up for your broadcast, a little above and beyond, well, a lot above and beyond what iRacing provides. We've got 9 different TV-style cameras, 3 different trackside cams, a drone shot, a couple of different blimps, and there's way more to it than that.
Green flag.
Green flag back in the air. We're back racing from Bristol. Millett maintains the top spot. Jim Otta back about 2 car lengths, and they've gotten away from Chris Goins a little bit already. Goins starting to feel some pressure from teammate Alfie Charon. A few feet off the back bumper runs the 9 machine. Goins in the number 41 Popple Pro. Derek Welch working his way up. He's into the top 5 as well. Started 8th, working his way forward. Jesse Sperling into the picture as well. Sperling started 9th, currently in the 6th position, having a good run so far. Getting word that Crystal Villano has called it a day. Villano going to be credited with the 29th position. Drew Blaze says Fahey is wrecking in spirit. No worries about that. On board with Derek Welch, just ahead of the 29 of Jesse Sperling. This would be a fight for the 5th position. While we watch this battle, Millett has extended his lead to almost a full second over Jim Ott. Whoa, a little loose. Derek Welch has to gather it up off turn 4. Loses the spot to Sperling. Now Sperling up into the 5th spot. Jesse Redding gets by 2. He's now in position number 6. Charon Jr. running in the 4th position, was hot and heavy battling with the 41 of Chris Goins early on, but Goins has stretched out his advantage over the 9, now runs in that 3rd spot, quite a distance ahead of the 9, about a half straightaway, about 6-7 car lengths off the back bumper of 2nd place Jim Ott. Top 3, top 4 drivers separated pretty well here, pretty significant amount from 1st to 4th. Meanwhile, battle for the 4th spot, Jesse Sperling taking the advance on the 9. Sperling with a run. Alfie Charon blocks. Sperling goes to the bottom of the racetrack. They battle now into the corner. Sperling gets alongside for a moment. Back to the power. Sperling still trying to take that spot away. This is the battle for the 4th position. Side by side now. Off turn number 4. Cross start finish. Back into 1. Now Redding's going to work to the outside. Here comes the 20 of Lawson. Does Lawson have fresh tires? He's shot out of a cannon here. Lawson in that number 20. Running in the 10th spot. Looks like he's made a pit stop. Lap 33 may have been for rights only. It was not long enough for 4 tires, but he seemed shot out of a cannon there for a moment. Meanwhile, Sperling losing a little bit of ground here in the battle of Alfie Sharon. Redding gets around both drivers. Sperling loose off at turn 4. Hangs on to the car. Little contact from Lawson. If not, it was awfully close. Meanwhile, Zach Millen out to a 2.1 second advantage over Jim Ott. Meanwhile, change for second place, a battle for it for that matter, Chris Goins and Jim Ott. Goins working the top side. He's going to get clear out of turn 4. Move Chris Goins to P2. Alfie Sharon Jr. may have had an issue just a moment ago as he slipped back to the 11th spot. Car looks okay. Little bit of damage to the nose, but nothing to be too concerned with aero-wise. Not here, at least. Working to the outside of Skylar Harrod. The three car down low. Alfie gets the run out of the corner. Harrod gets clear. Now the 51 of Chris Klein trying to close in, but Alfie's got the run on corner exit. Using that high line, he can really drive down the straightaway. Put that power to use. Jesse Redding trying to hold off Matt Sisler in the number 93 machine. Sisler goes way up the racetrack, just inches off the wall, gets the power down alongside the 21. Welch is going to try and become a part of this. He's going to go up the gut now. He thinks better of it. A little early for that, but a little contact almost between Welch and Redding. Redding lets those guys go. He's going to lose a few spots here. Connor Leach working the outside. Here comes Dylan Bryant, the number 28 Pepsi machine. Redding, I don't know if he just abused his tires too soon, too early. Oh, a little bit of contact, and Beetle's down on the racetrack as well. Beetle trying to get clear. I don't know if he was trying to slow up to come to pit lane, but didn't realize that Redding was trying to save the car on the bottom of the racetrack. Narrowly avoiding a major incident. A little bit of a collision, nothing too significant, but Redding drops back into the 18th spot. Loses a ton of ground very quickly as Matt Sisler, who he was battling with, runs in the 4th spot. Welch, Lawson, Leach. That's the battle we watch now. Welch has this position, currently in 6th. Lawson trying to take it away. Lawson in the number 20 down low. Again, Welch can carry that momentum out of the corner. We'll see if Lawson can slide job up here and block the run from the 1. Not much of a slide job there, but yes, definitely takes the position to move Justin Lawson into the top 5. Welch back to 6. Connor Leach saved his stuff early. Now he's starting to apply some pressure yet again. The back of the 1. Lawson's going to take this position now from Sisler as well. Again, Lawson made a pit stop, lap 34. Again, it's 11.07 seconds was the pit stop. I can't imagine he was able to take that much fuel, so it's probably just right side tires. The pace that he's running right now comparative to everybody else would certainly indicate that. His last lap of 15:61. Race leaders running in the low 15s, high 16s right now. Lawson trying to cut through this field. The problem is he's only got one set of right side tires left over the wall, and we're not even halfway. So he's going to have to baby this set, maybe hope for some cautions. Get that lap count down just a bit so we can take full advantage of the final set. Now, can't imagine he's going to take lefts at any point as opposed to just rights. I mean, I suppose you could. And if you've practiced that to see how the car is going to handle with just fresh left sides, I suppose you could do it. But many times it really makes for an imbalanced race car. Welch now in the 7th position, trying to fend off the charge from the 28 of Dylan Bryant. Skylar Harrod runs in the 9th spot. Brandon Coleman 10th. Lawson with Jim Ott to the inside. Will he get clear? No, Ott's going to battle back. So move Lawson up into P3. About a second behind second place machine of Chris Goins, and some traffic to get through as well. The 55, I think that's Tom Barish. Down a lap. And just like that, you see how quick that tire advantage makes a difference. Lawson within a car length now off the back bumper of Chris Goins. Goins to the bottom. You see the lap car Ken Couch up top side. Goins will definitely use him as a pick, the best that he can, but Lawson might have the courage to drive it up the middle. Nope, tucks in behind the 41. Meanwhile, this is allowing Millett just to get away. 3.8 seconds, 3.9 seconds the advantage over second place. We got Lori Vaught, Lori Vickers, both in the stream chat. Thanks for checking in, guys. Appreciate that. Dr. Shakaloo says, let's go, Josh Moore. Still watch this battle for a second. Lawson is 16:06 versus Goins is, well, this time it's 15:92 to 15:97. Lawson still just a tick quicker, but you got to find a way to complete this pass. Lawson goes up top. A little bit more grip and certainly more momentum. Out of turn 4, he'll have the spot at the line, but still not quite clear. Drives it deep into turn 1, really deep into 1. Maybe that was Goins lifting, I don't know, but either way, Lawson handily takes the second spot. Got to be loving that fresh right side tire. Lawson going to put Endicott down a little further. Meanwhile, some guys hitting pit road. Jim Ott, one of them. Right side tires going on. First set of tires for Jim Ott. This is kind of the play I think you want to go with. You know you can make it from here. Maybe not necessarily on fuel. Might need a splash later on, but if the caution comes out late, Jim Ott still has a set of tires sitting over the wall. Chris Goins going to hit pit lane as well. Goins to the attention. The Track Bar Motorsports crew. Right side tires in the air. Sunoco race fuel going in. Crew around to the left. Jack underneath. 4 tires and fuel for the Popple Pro Camaro. Chris Goins down and away. 15.08 seconds for the 41, and he's back in the hunt. This is certainly going to start a brash of pit stops for a lot of these drivers as the differential from fresh rubber to old is massive. Jesse Redding is in pit lane. Russ Endicott also going to come down for his pit work. Interesting, Redding went fuel only. 9.8 seconds to stop. I don't know if that's the play, but Zach Millett in his pit stall from the race lead. We'll see what Millett does. Right side tire change for certain. Millett asking for no changes. 4 tires and fuel, and that's going to do it. Drop the jack down and away. 14.63, a lightning fast stop for the 315. He's back in action. Meanwhile, Lawson with that fresh right side is taking over the top spot. Still going to need to pit soon himself. We'll see when he decides to do just that. Leach runs in the second position. Skylar Harrod, Dylan Bryant, Brandon Coleman, the top 5. "89 laps complete here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Justin Lawson leads. We're going to take an HBR TV side-by-side break. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway now, Connor Leach with the race lead, 103 laps complete. Lawson runs second, Skylar Harrod runs third. Top 3 drivers all having to make a pit stop. They haven't seen their pit crew since lap 33 or 34. And here they come into pit lane. Connor Leach from the race lead. Zach Millett, the first driver out on the racetrack that has made his pit stop. They'll cycle through to third with Leach hitting pit lane, but Lawson and Harrod both need to stop as well. Leach in the pit stall, right side tire change. The call's going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for Leach. Yes. drops the jack. 15-10 to stop. Herod now in the pits in his number 3 Camry. Just like that, Zach Millett back to the point, takes over the top spot from Justin Lawson. Lawson, of course, out there on the original left side tires and, well, aging right side tires. He still has a set over the wall to work with. I think he's going to orphan a set of left sides by the time this race comes to an end. Back out front, it's Zach Millett now with a 1.6-second advantage over Justin Lawson. Now, here's the thing. Chris Goins in the 3rd position. He made his pit stop about 4 laps prior to Zach Millett, a 15.08-second stop. He's going to be 12.5 seconds in the rears after Lawson pits. That's going to be the interval from 1st to 2nd. Now, remind everybody here, they're running lap times between 14.5 and 15.5 seconds. So Goins will be in 2nd place, in danger of being lapped. Zach Millett could be on a lap of his own here, depending on how this plays out. The difference was the distance that Millett had over Goins before the pit stop. That has increased significantly after the pit stop. Not so much the pit stop time itself. Again, Millett was a 14.63. Goins was a 15.08. Total pit lane time, Chris Goins was 39.93. Zach Millett, 34.22. How is that? There's a pit road speed limit. Right. The guys didn't speed, but it's a matter of how quickly you can get into pit lane and how quickly you can get out of it. And that's something that Zach Millett has just mastered. Not just at Bristol, not just at the Glen, but at every racetrack he goes to. Maximize how quickly you get in and out. That's where the time is gained. The only problem with that, and somehow I've seen Zach been able to avoid it the majority of the time, is you run that ragged edge in and out of pit lane. You run a big risk of getting caught speeding or getting an unsafe exit, unsafe entry, that sort of thing. Only seen it happen once in the 3 years I've been broadcasting. How that's been possible, I don't know, but he's managed to do it. Meanwhile, Justin Lawson finally gets to pit lane. The caution comes out. Ken Couch in trouble.
Everybody on the racetrack will be pissed off at somebody else on the racetrack before this race is over with.
So yellow flag here at lap 117, 3rd caution of the afternoon. Ken Couch in the 08. The Miller High Life throwback. More of a Ken Satellite and potable water hauling paint scheme, but definitely the Miller High Life colors. Looks like a Fahey race wrap. Indeed it is. Well, let's get a look, see what happened here to the machine of Ken Couch to put us under our 3rd caution of the night. Chris Klein up the racetrack. I don't think he gets the wall. Couch is closing the gap here on Jesse Redding. Milner and Klein both get the wall out of the corner. Milner comes down, gets a piece of Ken Couch. Both drivers get to the inside pit wall, and the rest is history. The rest of the field does a good job getting through without being collected. Again, Couch holds the brake, top of the banking there to make sure everybody can get by cleanly. Nice job again by another driver in an incident, just making sure they're looking out for everybody else. So Chris Goins is going to pit, but that's going to erase that massive lead that Zach Millett had on the rest of the field. He was looking at putting the field down a whole lap. Was able to avoid that with the caution coming out. So Goins stays out on the racetrack, though. Jim Ott will pit. Jim listed as the 3rd place car. So 14.68, a good stop for Jim Ott. Not a high pressure situation by any means, but he gets back out there quickly. So let's take a look at our lead lap drivers right now. There's only 8 of them. Zach Millett, Chris Goins, Jim Ott, Derek Welch, Alfie Charon Jr., the top 5. Then Jesse Sperling having a solid run in P6. Matt Sisler 7th, and Connor Leach, the points leader, in 8th. Now with Millett pitting at lap 117, even without this caution, he was solid on fuel all the way to the end, so there's no concern there. Zach does still have a set of tires over the wall if he opts to use those, I believe. Though he may have taken them this time. Let's see if we can pull Zach into the broadcast booth quickly as they've extended this here. Zach, it's Steve with HBR TV. Got a copy?
Hey, Steve.
Zach, nice run so far. I think you may have taken that last set of tires on this pit stop. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep, I figured it's probably the time. I think Goins did as well. So we're kind of right on schedule what we're thinking.
So plenty of fuel to go to the end. No more tires over the wall. So that's it for the pit crew tonight. What are the odds you hold off that 41? He's been quick here tonight.
Yeah, he's not only fast, man, but he can save tires a hell of a lot better than I can too. So I don't know. We'll see. As long as we can, go for it and not wreck each other like usual, we'll make it fun. It'll be good.
Well, you're on the one to go. We'll let you get back to it, man. Good luck.
Thanks, buddy.
Zach Millett, your current race leader. Track Bar Motorsports drivers on the front row. The key here is race hard, but don't wreck each other.
Green flag, green flag.
Green back in the air. Goins working the top side of the racetrack. He may have a big time run out of the corner, and just like that takes the race lead. Round the outside, as Lee Diffie would say. Chris Goins to the point. Millett 2.5 car lengths in the rears here. Lap 124. Getting on crunch time here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Millett closes the gap, takes a peek back to the inside. A pass for the lead again. Millett takes it away from the 41. Down into turns 3 and 4. Now Millett maintains the top spot. Let's see if he can carry it all the way to the end. Just like that, puts a half second on Goins, but as Millett had mentioned in our brief conversation, Goins can save tires like nobody else. That might be part of the game plan here. I think Goins just saw an opportunity to get out there, lead that lap, and now tuck back in and save those Goodyears for a rainy day, or lack thereof. Maybe the closing laps of this one, he can put the attack back on the 315. But for now, Millett leads, Goins second, Charon third, Track Bar Motorsports entries 1 through 3. Points leader Connor Leach back in the 4th position in a traffic jam here at BMS. Leach does get by, gets by the 9 of Alfie Charon, so Leach up into the 3rd position. He's got Lawson to the outside. Again, these are not lead lap cars, only the top 8. Next on the list for Leach is going to be Russ Endicott. Russ goes up the racetrack, either intentionally or just the line he's running. Almost gets into Leach. Now Endicott way up the racetrack into the fence. Gets it back down here. Now Lawson and Charon side by side. Again, Lawson, not a lead lap machine. Charon running in the 4th spot. This is what happens. You're trying to get through some lap traffic. These little half-mile ovals, this is what goes down. Get into the run, you get a long green flag run. Then the caution comes out, and you find out who's a lap down and who's not. Right now, it's just about everybody a lap down except for the top 8 drivers. That's Millett, Goins, Leach, Charon, Sperling, Sisler, Ott, and Welch. And half lap separating 1st to 8th. Deficit back to 2nd remains about the same, about a half second between Millett and Goins. Leach now in 3rd. Got to reel in the 3 of Skylar Harrod, another lap car. Leach trying to work through some traffic. Alfie Charon, kind of the same thing as he runs just ahead of Jesse Sperling. Sperling a half, almost contact. Jim Ott was coming through like he was shot out of a cannon, and we got trouble. Derek Welch, here on the front stretch, gets into the wall, collects another driver, including Paul Durkee in the 13, and in turn number 1, he sits face the wrong direction. Gets it spun around, a little too much. Chris Goins in the mix, and it's going to jack up everybody in behind. So we'll see what happened here. We caught it somewhat live before this one went down, and it's showing everybody and their brother in trouble. So we'll try to look at this and see exactly how it got started. Back it up a little further. Now, I'm going to watch this here from the perspective of Derek Welch. We're on the roof cam. And Charon slides up the racetrack, and it causes Sperling to check up to avoid contact. Derek has to check up too, but he might have stabbed the brakes a little too hard because right out of the corner, it starts to come around on him. He tries to save it, gets into Jesse Redding. Redding spins around backwards. Don't know if he gets collected or if he just spins through here. Mark Collins in the 23. He's hard on the brakes, trying not to hit the 21. Lawson comes through and just pile drives Sean Roberts. Paul Durkee nose to nose with Derek Welch in turn 1. All in all, honestly, this thing could have been a whole lot worse than it was. Minimal damage, it seems, for all these drivers, but nevertheless, we're under caution yet again for now the 4th time here at Bristol. Not sure if Welch officially lost a lap. It appears he did. Some drivers in the pits. Sperling, Sisler, and Herod. I think they'll technically be on the lead lap. We'll have to see where they cycle through when they leave the pits. Alfie Charon Jr. also making a pit stop. See what Alfie does. Does he have any tires left? So right side tires for Alfie Charon. This could be a defining moment for the 9 tonight. 4-tire change for Alfie Charon Jr. Look out, the rest of the field. So the 9's going to get back out there with fresh rubber. Oh boy, this one's going to get interesting. Alfie Charon Jr. in 8th after the pit stop. I think he'll be the first car on, or for the last car on the lead lap, that is. See where he cycles through. We're on the 1 to go, so we're going to get back to the green flag here in just a moment. It'll be 26 laps to go when we take the green flag. And I think they're still trying to decide who should be where. Charon trying to get cycled in here. Do they wave off the restart here? No, it looks like Alfie's where he needs to be.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Oh, trouble. The 79 Jarrett Woodard is around to the front stretch.
One thing for sure.
Caution back out. I don't know if somebody spun the tires coming up through the gears, but nevertheless, we saw the 79 of Woodard go around rather quickly, involving a number of vehicles. Looks like Jarrett Woodard, Ken Couch, Anthony Williams, Josh Moore, Sean Roberts, Skylar Herod, Ben McKinnon. Let's take a look. A little early in it, but it does appear that the 79 may have spun the tires. Yeah. Spun the tires. Moore gets into them. Woodard's got to hold the brake there. I don't think the 3 would have hit him if he had. Well, here we go. Under caution yet again. Looks like Welch is going to get a lap back, so that'll work out for him. Connor Leach in the pits. He put some tires on, so watch out for the 71. We're going to try and get a word here with Alfie Sharon as he runs in the 6th position. We'll pull Alfie into the broadcast booth and get a word with the driver of the number 9. Alfie, it's Steve. I'm an HBR TV. You got a copy?
What's up, Steve?
Alfie, looking good out there. Just bolted on a set of fresh Goodyear Eagles. Last set available to you. 23 laps to go here as we're getting ready for a green flag here. What are your odds to get up there and fight it out with teammates Chris Goins and Zach Millett?
They have about, I think, almost 20 lap older tires, so hopefully I can get by the 3 cars that are in front of me and we can have a TBM 1, 2, 3 nice battle here at the end for the win.
Certainly looking forward to it, Alfie. Thanks for chatting, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Alfie Sharon in the 6th position. Connor Leach just did the same, bolted on some fresh tires. So Alfie may have some company in the form of our neighbors to the north. Connor Leach in that number 71 machine out of Canada. Current points leader coming into tonight. Leach with 2 wins on the season back at Auto Club Speedway and then Dover. Like to pick up his 3rd win if he can. On the 1 to go. Nope, not quite. Just kidding. Maybe next time. So with that said, we should get the restart here. It should be a 20-lap shootout if we can stay green the whole way. Of course, cautions breed cautions. Old tires get slippery. You spin the tires on the restart. We saw that with Jarrett Woodard just a moment ago. You're so packed up tight together, it's tough. It's really difficult to get on the brakes that fast when everything in your brain is saying go, go, go. Then you look out the windshield and everything's no, no, no. Nope, there it is. Lights are out. Going green this time by. Back in the air, Millett on the throttle, a good reaction by Chris Goins. They're just about side by side into turn 1. Millett drives to the bottom of the racetrack, puts a car length and a half on Chris Goins. Meanwhile, battle for the 2nd spot. Matt Sisler working to the outside of Jim Ott. Sisler still there, not able to clear Jim Ott. Jim not able to clear Sisler, but he does now. Gets down to the inside of Chris Goins out of turn 4. Ott applying pressure, but here comes Alfie Sharon Jr. into the 5th spot, all over the back bumper of Matt Sisler. He knows it's time to go, but here comes Connor Leach to the inside of Alfie Sharon also. Fresh rubber on the 71. The battle of the fresh tires out of 4. Alfie Sharon leads it, little wiggle out of Leach into turn number 1. Caution back on the speedway. Looks like Sean Roberts in the fence. Can't park there, Sean. Ken Couch backs up. And we have another car involved. Didn't catch who that was, but let's get a look, see what happened with the 33 and others. So Sean Roberts in that primer gray number 33. Guys are checking up ahead. Roberts stays in the gas here. Looks like the 11 had a problem. We'll back it up a little further here and get a look, see what happened with Brandon Coleman. So the 11, Russ Endicott loose out of 4, clips the right rear. And everybody starts checking up in behind. Roberts was trying to go around these guys on the outside, not realizing there was a crash there, I believe. But there you have it. I'm going to go back a little further here and watch the 57. Is he already loose? Yeah, so Coleman was loose in the middle of 4. Gathers it up. Endicott goes up the racetrack, gets the power down, and as soon as he does that, the car starts to come around. Yeah, and there he just hits the 11. Caution number 6. We've got 14 to go. Looks like Nick Biddy just made a pit stop here. It was 14.98 seconds. Did Nick Biddy have a set of tires to bolt on as he's now back on the lead lap? Let's take a look. Watch his pit stop here just a moment ago. Did he have tires? At least rights. Yeah. Oh boy. Speaking of guys that are going to be shot out of a cannon, the 32, Nick Biddy, now has the freshest set of tires of the lead lap cars. He's going to restart in the 10th spot when we get back racing. So 10 cars on the lead lap. It's Zach Millett, Chris Goins, Jim Ott, Matt Sisler, Alfie Chair in the top 5, Connor Leach 6th. Alfie and Connor have fresher tires. Sperling runs 7th, Skylar Harrod 8th, Derek Welch back in the lead lap in 9th, and Nick Biddy just now bolting out a set of 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles. So we get ready to go back green flag racing here. This time by, I think it'll be 11 laps to go. Let's try it again.
Green flag.
Mill in the gas. Chris Goins times it well. Mill it back to the line. 10 laps remaining. Connor Leach on the back bumper of Matt Sisler. Alfie Charin down low. Sisler a bit of a pick right now, aiding the 9, but 9 of Charin back to the inside. He's got to get 2 for 1 here. No, has to lift. Leach gets by, move the 71 up into the 5th spot. Meanwhile, Sisler runs the fastest lap of the race at a 14:58 as he's now up into the 3rd position. Just about a nose width. Can't not quite get clear of the 4. Connor Leach in the mix now. Sisler gets by. Leach follows him through. 8 laps to go for Zach Millett. Sisler closing fast. He made a pit stop at lap 136, took on tires as well. Does he have enough time to get by Chris Goins, catch Zach Millett, and do the same and pick up another win? Sisler looking to the inside. Goins might have got the wall. A bit of a bump by Connor Leach on the 41. Upsets Chris Goins just a bit, but they still fight it out. Leach gets clear. Now he's going to attack. 5 laps to go. Leach in 3rd. Switches it up. Switches lanes. Caught the 41 sleeping. What a move by Connor Leach to switch lanes and go to the outside for the 2nd spot. Easily gets down into 1. Might have scraped the wall, but gets clear of Goins for the 2nd spot. 4 laps to go. Contact with Goins and Sisler. They continue on. Now we're 3 wide. Jim Ott has to check up. Leach 7/10 of a second back with 3 laps to go. Millett off turn 4. Nope, turn 3 now he's in. We'll be in 4 in a minute. 2 laps to go for Zach Millett. Connor Leach trying to reel him in. I don't think he's got enough time unless we get another caution. Zach Millett through turn 4. White flag in the air. Final lap for Zach Millett. Looking for win number 4 on the season. And 2 in a row. Millett into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Zach Millett wins it. Zach Millett takes the checkered flag here at Bristol. Connor Leach second. Matt Sisler comes home third. A hard-fought fourth-place finish for Chris Goins and fifth for Alfie Charon Jr. Sisler going to go up and say congrats. Who needs crop circles when he got Zach Millett? Parks it on the front stretch. Perfect placement by the 315. What a victory by Zach Millett. We're going to step aside here, take a quick break. We'll be back with our top three finishers after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, race number 8 of the Davidson Builders Gen 6 Cup Series in the book. Zach Millett victorious after a 6th place start here this evening. Let's get a word with the driver of the HBR TV 315. Zach, it's Steve in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Steve, got a copy.
Zach, congratulations, man. It looked a little interesting there at the end. You took your set of tires with 117 laps up on the board. Last set over the wall. Some other guys gambled a bit. Connor Leach being one of them. He took his last set at lap 1. Actually, I don't have it, but it was one of the last stops. He was a shot out of a cannon there, closing fast, got the spot from Chris Goins, was reeling you in there at the end, but just didn't have enough time. How do you feel about this one here? 4th win of the season, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, Texas, and now Bristol.
Feels pretty good, man. We're on a pretty good streak here. I was worried about coming back from vacation and kind of being out of it and, just not being able to run up front, but it's good to get right back on the horse. I never expect to do really well at Bristol. It's pretty easy to get in a wreck, and even under caution, when the caution flies, it's hard to even check up for some of these wrecks. It comes up in front of you so fast. But yeah, man, I'm pumped. It's going well.
It was a fun race to watch for certain. A little crazy, a little chaotic there at the end, but strategy-wise, I mean, you just kind of played it how you had to play it. The fuel-wise, well, it was what it was. But tires, 2 sets over the wall. You kind of had to go at least a halfway to take that final set. What was the mindset and when your decision was to take that final 4 tires?
I don't know. I was really hoping it'd stay green there. That when that caution came out right at the end of the second cycle, I think I had Chris Goins in front of me, and we were going to lap him. We were flying, and it was just all traffic, man. It almost felt like multi-class racing out there with the old tires versus new. It was incredibly fun. Can't wait to go back and watch it. But yeah, when that caution flew, I mean, I've been trapped behind traffic so many times at Bristol over the years with different cars, and I know you want relatively new tires, but you want to be in front. If you can be up in the top 5, even 10, I mean, at least you can see the lead. You can at least go for it. But when you're back there, even with new tires, sometimes it's just impossible to come up through.
Well, you made it work. You made it look relatively easy. Of course, Chris Goins looked very, very stout there in the latter stages. Of course, got eaten up by some fresher tires in the latter end of this thing. But it is what it is. You walk away here with a checkered flag and look forward to Daytona International next week. I know super speedway racing, not your favorite discipline, but it's certainly one you've put the time and effort into over the past year or so. How do you feel about your opportunity to maybe go 3 in a row next week? I know the odds are a bit equal going into the super speedways.
Yeah, I'm not feeling very confident about that one. I'm going to get a hold of old Vince Short and see if I can get some qualifying tips and at least, maybe put the car up front or towards the front at least at the beginning. And I don't know, it's good when you got the best teammates out there, man, with the TBM crew. We're going to put some laps in and see what kind of limitations we can push with these cars, and I'm sure it'll be fun regardless.
Well, either way, Zach, congratulations. A job well done. Who do you want to thank?
I got to thank you, Steve, and HBR TV, HBR TV 1, Track Bar Media, Track Bar Motorsports, Castle Packs Power. Big thanks to NTRL, all the admins, everything they do. Yeah, just another shout out to the Track Bar Media guys. It's fun to hop in practice and run with these guys and then get into the race and just work together, and it's a lot of fun. And shoot me a follow over on Twitch at ThatIs4Guy.
All right, Zach, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week. It's Daytona International.
Thanks, buddy.
Zach Millett, your race winner here at Bristol. Next, we're going to talk to the driver, the number 71, who's been on a tear in just about everything we see him in lately. Doesn't matter if it's this league, that league, or the next league. He's been fast. We've been talking to him a lot. It's the driver of the 71, our runner-up here at Bristol, Connor Leach. Connor, you got us?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Connor, congrats, man. A runner-up finish here. I think you just needed a handful of more laps to reel in Zach Millett. You really gambled there late, bolting on that final set of tires. Cut through the field like a hot knife through butter. Just one short, man. Walk us through the strategy play for the end of this one.
I mean, we thought we were in we thought we were in the hot seat, all us Speed Shop boys. Had me, Skyler, and Nick Biddy all pit on that that caution around lap 30 or whatever the heck it was, that earlier one, and we all pit just for fuel and kept on trucking out there, and it went green and everything kind of spread out. We're like, oh, this is good. This is really good for us. And all the leaders, everyone who didn't pit, started coming down, and all right, and had to get past, I think, the 20 who took tires. I got past him, led a couple laps, and then it was our turn to pit, and we pit and ran some laps, and I was, the next guy, or I think the lucky dog, we're looking at his lap times now, is a little over a second faster in parts of that run when I first come out of the pits. So I was like, oh, this is good. I'm going to catch him. He's not too far up, and then probably a couple laps short, and then caution came out and saved all those guys that didn't come down and pit for fuel only on that first one. And because we were good to go to the end, like if we after that pit stop, that last green flag pit stop I made, we were good to go to the end. And if it had gone green, that would have been pretty good for our team. But is what it is. It's Bristol. We knew that. I mean, it was not likely that was going to happen, but you never know. It would have been pretty sweet. But yeah, it was fun dicing it up with everyone up front there at the end. I had a little bit fresher tires than most, and yeah, just kind of you had to get to the top. Like, so on Gones, I think I made a bit of a move looking low, and I think he scuffed the wall or something and pulled it off the wall. Then that was the hole I needed to get to the top. And then we saw Millet out there, and I was running as best a lap as I could, but it just wasn't enough. Not enough time left.
Well, either way, an impressive run, especially here late. You had a points lead coming into tonight. It's going to be awful tight when we leave, but we look forward to Daytona International. I mentioned to Zach that place is kind of the great equalizer when it comes to talent. There's some little idiosyncrasies and some talent that can be applied on the super speedways, but sometimes just doesn't always pay off. We look forward to that, but how do you feel about running these cars out at Daytona next week and maybe your chances to extend a point lead?
I feel good about it. I think we got a pretty good shot there. I was a little worried the other day at work. They're telling me I was going on afternoon shift, but I struck up a deal with the boss, and I got some previous engagements I need to do on Tuesdays at so-and-so time, and so we're going to work around that for just that day of the week. So I'll be there. I was a little worried I was going to be out for the rest of the season, but we'll be in there, and I think we got a pretty good shot at Daytona. It should be a fun one.
Certainly looking forward to it. Connor, again, congratulations, man. Who do you want to thank?
Just shout out to the boys, the Speed Shop, Nick Biddy, Skylar Herod. Again, just helping us out with just running these cars around here. This is a fast track. Like, I did a couple laps and I went, oh god, this is tough. It's hard to be consistent, but after running enough laps in practice here, I think I ran over 100 laps just in the practice session here before the race, and he was helping us all out, and we had a pretty good showing tonight again.
Well, again, congratulations, man. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck at Daytona.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the show, Steve.
Thanks, Connor. Connor Leach, your runner-up here at Bristol. Next, we'll talk to the 93 of Matt Sisler. Always a fun interview. He's going to be excited to talk to us here. Matt Sisler, third-place finisher here at Bristol tonight. That number 93 just seems to be getting faster and faster each and every week. Matt, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir, Steve. I got you.
Matt, congratulations, man. A solid run here tonight, as did Connor Leach. You bolted some tires on late in this race. Had some Superman feels there at the very end. Walk us through the closing stages of this one, the mindset, the strategy, how you worked through to finish this race in the third position.
Well, I mean, early on, I thought I'd pooched the ball like on a punt, like it had only, I punted it and gone 10 yards because I came in under green, but I forgot to put my tires back on. So, like, I lost a lap to Millet effectively and had to take the wave around, and we were just lucky with that. And then, at the end of the race, it was like, okay, it's strategy time. I've got the tires. We're in position. And then I sat there. I'm like, they got 20 laps on their tires. I've got a shot at this. And that, especially that last couple of restarts, Chris Gones could not have been more frustrating if he had filled the entire track. Because I kept trying to get to his right rear because I knew if I could get there, I could get around him and I could at least put the pressure on Millet. I don't know if he had, if he was just saving his tires up in case somebody got to him. But it was just so frustrating to work around Gones. And then I just took the opportunity when Connor kind of pushed him down the track. I took the opportunity, and I don't know if Gones got loose or what. He kind of ran me in the wall, and then we were 3 wide down the back straight. Shades of AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric, I guess. And I was just on the high side, able to roll it and get clear. That actually meatballed me. So I was like, I just ran to the finish because I was like, it's 3 laps to go. If it's going to penalize me, it's going to drop me to 10th, which isn't bad. So, and luckily it didn't. So it was just, we had a lot of good luck come together right at the end, I guess is like the long and the short of it.
Well, it certainly worked out. A third-place finish here. Nothing to be upset about by any means, especially when you roll into Bristol Motor Speedway. A solid top 3 when you're finishing behind guys like Millett and Leach. That's certainly impressive. We look forward to Daytona International next week. Super Speedway racing. How do you feel about your skill set out at Daytona next week?
As long as we can keep our 3 birdies Camry safe and get it to the final lap in position, we have a shot. That's how I kind of feel about it. You've done races in the past, Steve, where both in Noble and in Lone Star, where I've been in contention on the last lap at plate tracks, and that's just basically applying the Dale Jarrett principle of just ride and wait for everybody else to wipe themselves out, and then you go forward. So, go when you've got the shot. So, and it's a roll of the dice when you go to Daytona or Talladega or even the new Atlanta, which I believe we have at the end of the season. So it's just, you gotta have good luck. You gotta be able to keep your car clean, and hopefully we can do that and, come home with another solid top 5.
2 races left in the regular season before we jump into the playoffs, starting off with Atlanta Motor Speedway, so that'll certainly be entertaining to look forward to. Excited for next week at Daytona, but Matt, again, congratulations at third-place finish here at Bristol. Who do you want to shout out to?
Our sponsor of our lovely bright green 3 Birdies Golf Company, Camry. They've got some awesome stuff. I'm wearing their golf polo right now. You guys can check them out over at 3birdiesgolf.com. Celsius for providing, the energy to get me through really days at work and nights racing. So, obviously Derek and everybody at NTRL for putting on this awesome league. They do a wonderful job. Steve, of course, not going to forget you with your amazing broadcasts. You really put a lot of quality in. And my cousin would probably kill me if I forgot, but there's a little sponsor in front of the wheels, Peace, Love, and Paws Rescue. That's a small little rescue here in Southeast Michigan. They are a wonderful, wonderful organization, and just wanted to give them a shout out as well.
Fair enough, Matt. Congrats yet again, and good luck next week at Daytona. Thanks for chatting.
Not a problem, Steve. Anytime.
Matt Sisler, your third-place finisher here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That'll wrap up the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. We'll get a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Zach Millett, Connor Leach, Matt Sisler, the top 3. Chris Goins was 4th, Alfie Charon 5th. A solid night for the Track Bar Motorsports crew. Jim Ott was 6th, Skylar Harrod 7th. Jesse Sperling, a solid top 10 and 8th. Derek Welch wrapped up 9th. 10th went to Nick Biddy. Surprised we didn't see more out of Nick with those fresh tires late. Mark Collins was 11th. Justin Lawson finished in the 12th spot. 13th finisher was Paul Durkee. 14th went to Anthony Williams. Dylan Bryant was 15th. 16th, Chris Klein. Ken Couch, 17th. Jesse Redding, 18th. Russ Endicott was 19th. 20th was Ben McKinnon. Sean Roberts, 21st. 22nd, Brandon Coleman. Jarrett Woodard, 23rd. Joshua Moore wrapped up 24th. Scott Milner, 25th. 26th, Tom Barish. Eric Beadle, 27th. Crystal Volano, 28th. And John Luke Wilkie wraps up tonight's events in the 29th position. That's your race results here at race number 8 from Bristol Motor Speedway, the Davidson Builders Cup Series. Thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. As always, if you haven't already done so, please click that thumbs up button on the stream on YouTube. Help like the stream, helps push the video out to some wider audiences, some fresh eyeballs, maybe even some fresh drivers for the leagues. It's a win-win across the board. Oh, and by the way, it's free to do. You don't get charged for doing stuff like that. It's a win for everybody involved. Free is good, and it helps us in the long run. So other than that, that's going to wrap it up. We are off the air the rest of this week as, well, we make our annual trek to Watkins Glen International in real life tomorrow. We'll be there until Monday morning, and we'll be back in action for the IROC Challenge Series Monday night, well, barring any weather complications at the track on Sunday, but everything looks good. 81 degrees and no rain. It's always a plus. It's going to wrap it up. Congratulations to Zach Millett winning tonight here. 4th time of the season here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.